Hello, welcome to the Watch Technology breakout room. My name is Jimmy and I am the program coordinator as well as one of the instructors. I'm really excited to present Watch Technology to you all. We don't typically do high school outreach events, so we're really interested in seeing what sort of traction this gets, as well as if this is something that we should keep on pursuing. About myself, I'm a graduate of this program. I worked as a watchmaker in the Seattle area for about 8 years now, and I've been teaching for 4 years. All right, about the program. So just FYI, the Watch Technology program also goes by the name WTI, or the Watch Technology Institute. Our roots date back to the late 1940s, so we have a long history of serving the industry and of graduating highly skilled watchmakers. Many of our graduates can be found working for the major watch brands, and a few are even doing so internationally. We currently offer a 2-year full-time program covering modern watch repair. Students are in class 36 hours a week, so it is a big time commitment. What's nice is that there is not a whole lot of homework because there's so much practical learning. And as well, you're ready to jump into the industry with employment as soon as you finish the program. No extra schooling is needed. We are the only school on the West Coast. We draw interest from not only the Seattle area, but from across the state, Oregon, California, the Midwest, even the East Coast, pretty much all over. We even see international students every once in a while. WTI has some unique positioning in that we are one of the last watchmaking programs still attached to a public educational institution. But we also have a strong partnership with Rolex Watch USA, and as well their educational arm, the Swiss American Watchmakers Training Alliance, sometimes referred to as SATA. They help fund our program and supply us with training materials. They also administer third-party SATA certification for our students. SATA also helps place students with employers, and they offer some unique training and internship opportunities. So it's really great to have them on board. At a high level, there is a lot of opportunity in watchmaking, especially if you're willing to relocate. Right now, there are more job openings than students available to fill them. Jobs are available not only through the watch brands themselves, but also with independent companies and retailers. We tend to see a lot of openings in Southern California, the East Coast, and the Midwest. Right. So why watchmaking? So let's take a step back. What makes the field of watchmaking or watch repair appealing? We have students that get into the profession because they're drawn to the art and construction of these timepieces. We've got the aesthetic and mechanical side of things. There's a lot of tradition and handcrafts behind watchmaking, but there's also some edgy kind of avant-garde work being done. So it's really quite interesting to see this creativity. And not only that, but all of these watches need some human element to come to life. Others like watches because of their historical or sentimental impact. Here we have astronauts wearing watches on the moon, watches that you could wear to the top of Mount Everest. If you think about it, people have been wearing wristwatches for over 100 years. These watches are tied to some incredible moments and journeys in people's lives, and there's a certain magic in being able to repair them and bring them back to life. Finally, there's of course the luxury aspect. Sometimes, well, most of the time it's just fun to work on watches that are really, really expensive. Watch companies are always coming up with new designs, working with exotic materials. And as a watchmaker, you get to go really deep into that type of stuff. And you learn a lot about what makes watches good or bad. For certain people, like collectors, the work you do is really highly regarded, and you get to be the expert in this niche field, which feels great. So is watchmaking right for you? Um, some common traits that we think are indicators of success in this program are strong hand-eye coordination. Okay, using tweezers, we handle very small parts. We also have magnifying loops to look at items up close. We regularly work in the scale of 1/100th of a millimeter, or you could think of it as things so minute as being 1,000th of an inch. Okay, attention to detail is also important. Watches have many parts interacting with each other, so things can wear out or jam up. So you need to be able to identify and spot these issues. People who enjoy puzzles and problem solving, watches can stop working for any number of reasons. So it's our job to figure out what's wrong and be able to fix it. Having the ability to focus and work independently is also key. Just like a game of tennis, it's you versus your opponent. In this case, with watches, it's you versus the watch that's right in front of you. So you own the process from start to finish, and that's a lot of responsibility, and it takes a lot of focus and being able to work by yourself to accomplish. Okay. Being goal-oriented is also important. People who like to enjoy finishing tasks, whether they're large or small, and getting satisfaction out of it is a common trait. Finally, students who love tools and machines, there are literally hundreds, if not thousands, of specialized watchmaking tools and pieces of equipment out there. So, if you are equipment gearhead or gearhead, then this is the profession for you. Okay. I think it's important to note that for students entering our program, we don't expect any prior watchmaking or repair experience. Our curriculum is designed to take students with a zero experience and get them to a point where they're ready to enter the industry. So here are the main subjects that we cover in our 2 years. We start with fairly basic timepieces and then up the complexity. The main focus is on knowing how to take in a watch, figure out what's wrong with it, fix it, and then put it back together in a state that is ready to return to a customer. There's a lot of practical hands-on work, drills, repetition, fine-tuning of what you're doing. And this is all to improve consistency, speed, and quality. Going through our program, North Seattle College offers 2 types of awards upon graduation. There is the certificate in watch technology, which is 8 quarters or 164 credits. Okay, these are all watchmaking courses, 24 in total. There's also an AAS degree in watch technology, which has all of the same courses, but adds on an additional 20 credits or roughly 4 classes. And these are all going to be general education classes. So some examples include business, English, math, or global US studies. Those would all qualify. Okay. For those pursuing the associate's degree, some students will take an extra quarter to get these general education credits. Others will take them either online or in the evening while they're taking their watch tech courses. So there is some flexibility there. It's important to note that students can also earn third-party certification. This is through Rolex's SADA organization. Okay, it's widely recognized by other employers in the industry. So to receive SADA certification, you must pass a series of intermediate tests as well as 1 final test. Okay, and that's going to be near the end of the program. All right, so one last thing to note is that watchmakers are always learning. After graduation, students can expect to get more on-the-job training from their employer. If you work for a company that retails multiple brands, you can likely get training for all the brands that they carry. Okay. And this training usually happens within the US at the various brands' headquarters, or in rare instances, you may be able to travel to Switzerland for some training. So when it comes to careers and jobs, we see most graduates take one of two paths. Okay, first is as a service center watchmaker. Okay, usually you're working alongside a group of other watchmakers. You're given a watch to repair, you fix it, you then move on to the next watch. It's a pretty straightforward workflow. The work environment is usually very quiet, clean, organized, and highly structured. You can think of your work as being very specialized. You get very fast at working on a small number or small variety of watches. It's number-driven, analytical work. Okay. The other career path is as a retail store watchmaker. Okay. You deal with customers face-to-face and usually work in conjunction with a team of salespeople and store managers. The big difference is you get to experience a much larger variety of repairs. Oftentimes you're working on many different brands. Usually there's only one watchmaker in the store. So if you're that person, you have to be comfortable working independently. Retail watchmakers own the whole process of the repair. So they're sometimes even the ones personally handing the watch back to the customer. And that can be really satisfying work. Watchmakers can switch between service center and retail store settings. So there's some flexibility. You can go back and forth between the types of positions. Longer term, there are also higher level roles like becoming a shop manager or head watchmaker for a specialized group. There are technical trainer and field trainer roles where you get to travel and train junior watchmakers or salespeople. So there is some growth available there. This is an industry where once you're in a company, they'll work hard to keep you there. Let me see. Your work is valued, and if you have an interest in trying something different, or want to do a different type of workflow, then companies are usually really good about making that happen for you. They want to keep you there. They want you to be happy. So if you have good communication skills, if you are really passionate about stuff and are proactive, then you can go pretty far within these organizations. I also want to point out that if you are entrepreneurial, you could even go independent. We have several graduates who have gone that route. Either they run their own brand or they have their own repair shop. Okay. Again, the jobs are out there if you're willing to relocate. Oftentimes employers are willing to fly you out to their store for an interview. They'll wine and dine you. Some may even help with the relocation expenses to move out there once hired. Retail watchmakers typically earn more than their service center counterparts. As we've seen in recent years, salaries have gone up. So most starting watchmakers can expect to see 55 to 65K. And that number can quickly ramp up once you start putting time in with the employer. It's quite common to see 1 year increases of 10 to 20% in the pay. All right, here's an interesting example showing two graduates of our program. We have Eric and Michael, who now work for an independent watchmaker in California, doing very high-end handmade work. These are students who spent a year working for major watch brands before deciding they wanted to pursue a different path. Being proactive and eager to learn, they were able to make a connection through the very tight-knit watchmaking community and get hired by Mr. Shapiro here. So now they're basically working their dream job, being able to design, manufacture some incredible watches by hand, as well as some CNC work. That's also something that they're doing. All right, so how to apply? Perhaps my presentation has won you over and you're ready to take the next step. It's important to note that entry into our program is competitive. We receive between 50 to 70 applications each year, and this is for roughly 12 spots that we can accept for each cohort. We have a rolling admissions policy, which means we keep taking applications in until the cohort is filled. So it is advantageous to apply early in the academic year to try to reserve your spot. Okay. Otherwise, if you apply later, you may be waitlisted or asked to defer to the following year. Our application process involves several steps. There is an application form and personal statement that need to be submitted. This is pretty straightforward, where you provide us with your contact info, your educational and work background, and then you also tell us why you want to learn about watchmaking. After that, there is an online exam and then an in-person bench test. The online exam tests your ability to reason through certain mechanical situations. Okay, we'll go through some examples in the next few slides. The bench test features several written and practical exercises, concluding with an interview with the instructors. Okay, once that is done, we can then make a decision on your application. One final thing to note is that even though you are all high schoolers, I don't want you to feel like entering the profession is a now or never decision. We have many students that join the program at later points in life. We have students that have already earned a university degree elsewhere. We have others that are doing career changes. I'm mostly interested with this presentation to let you know that this option is available to you. And so no matter where you are at in life, if watchmaking is something you want to pursue, we will try to make it happen for you. All right, so let's see if you have what it takes to become a watchmaker. Here is an example of a question from our online test. Let's take a minute to see if you can figure this one out. We have 3 wheels or gears in a row. It's what's called an intermediate train. Wheel A is driving wheel B. Wheel B then drives wheel C. So if we have wheel A turning clockwise, which direction will wheel C turn? I'll give you a few seconds here. All right, if you have an answer, let's check out this next slide. Okay, so the answer here is A. So wheel C would turn clockwise in this train. Let's try another one. Okay, we have an acrobat standing, or I guess standing on his head upside down on a seesaw. Which direction should the acrobat move to balance the weight on the left side, okay, to balance the weight on the other end? Should they move to the left, move to the right, or should they not move at all? Okay, again, I'll give you a few seconds. All right, so the answer here is that the acrobat should move to the right, or in direction B. Okay, so what we have here is a simple lever, and the more they move to the right, the more downward force or torque is applied that allows the weight on the left side to move up. Okay, so now it's time for some Q&A. Okay, some frequently asked questions are, can I work while taking classes? Some students choose to work part-time while they're in the program. keep in mind that the program is 36 hours a week. So it finishes up around 5 p.m. This usually means students have to work evenings or on the weekend. That can be a pretty tough schedule, depending on if they have other responsibilities. Historically, anywhere from 10 to 20% of the students in a cohort are working while they're taking classes. Okay. Do students need to bring any equipment or materials? Pretty much the only thing a student needs to bring is a notepad and something to write with. We have a toolkit fee that covers all tools that you'll need on the first and second year sites. We also cover the textbook, lab coats, other supplies and consumables. And that toolkit fee is $6,000, and that is paid in the first 2 quarters in the program. Some students will choose to bring their own personal tools or buy additional tools while they're in the program, but this is not expected or required. Is there homework? So students spend the majority of their time in the classroom. So while there is some homework, it is on the light side, about 1 hour a week. There will be assigned readings from the textbook. As well, there may be some handouts. There'll also be the occasional take-home assignment, or more recently, there will be some online assignments. Okay, these will be focusing mostly on theory. Okay, as well, with the testing, the certification testing that's out there, there will be times where you'll need to study for the written or theoretical portions of those exams. Can I get a tour of the classrooms? Yes, we do provide tours of our classrooms. We have done in-person tours in the past, but currently we are doing them virtually over Zoom and FaceTime. So if you're interested in getting a virtual tour, please contact me either directly, jimmy.lin@seattlecolleges.edu, or through our program email, wti@seattlecolleges.edu. As well, we are on Instagram, where you can see photos of students, of past students and the work that they've done. And I think this wraps up the presentation. So that's it for this breakout session. Thank you for attending. I know this is a lot of information to digest, and I'm sure you have other questions. Feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to answer any questions or concerns you have about the program. As well, I'm always happy to talk about watches, the state of the industry, and kind of help guide you along your life journey. All right. So, if there's anything else, again, reach out. Thank you for watching this presentation, and I look forward to hearing from you. All right. Thank you.